Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in this world. God bless you. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. Today we need to have a serious talk about our pets, about feeding our pets. In the Bible, when Jesus says there will be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in various places, he doesn't say just for people. He doesn't say just for livestock. He doesn't say just for wildlife. He doesn't say that your domestic pet will be exempt from that famine. So I want to talk to you about your pets and feeding your pets. If you're not putting food back for your pets, how are you going to feed them? And how are you going to keep them off the street? Because I know that when times get hard, people want to, put their animal out on the street thinking, well, they can get, food out of the garbage, or, they can hunt, mice or things like that. And a lot of people will take them and put them out in the country, figuring, well, they can get a hold of a rabbit or a squirrel or something, they'll become hunters and they can feed themselves that way. In actuality, the dogs that are put out in the country, all the other dogs that are put out in the country, they will form packs. They will become wild dogs, packs of wild dogs. And the people that are out in the country, they have livestock. They have chickens, they have ducks, they have, cows, goats, llamas, pigs, you name it. They've got them, they're raising them. And a pack of wild dogs shows up. Well, they may have dogs themselves. And there'll be a dog fight, and that dog that was guarding the property will be killed because the pack is going to hold, the whole pack's going to attack that dog. And then you got the kids that belong on that, property. And those kids can be attacked by the wild dogs. And the mama can run out there and she'll get attacked. And then the daddy comes out the door with the gun, and all the wild dogs get shot. But their family pet's down. 3 of their kids are bleeding to death. The mama's dead. And this is a reality. Or they could just bite and run away. You hear something going on out there. You step out the back door with your shotgun or your rifle and you fire up in the air and they run away. Well, that would be a lucky day. But then, are those wild dogs getting their shots? Oh, they could get rabies, huh? Yeah. And then they have a scuffle with your kids, and they don't kill your kids, but your kid gets bit. And so you've got to go to the hospital and get tested for rabies. And maybe your kid will have to be treated for rabies. But what if the hospitals are all closed? And there's nobody there in the hospital to treat your kid for rabies? Yeah, we have to talk reality here. There's a lot of people that were under the rent moratorium that they can't keep their dogs. And they don't have a roof over their head. They have nowhere to put their dogs. And they weren't looking for someone to take their dogs because they were looking for a way that they could stay in their house. But then at the last minute, they got put out on the street. Them, their kids, their dogs, all their belongings in the street. So a lot of people just let their animals go. Well, cats will have a whole lot better chance than a dog. Um, but dogs will form wild packs of dogs, and they will be vicious and they will become killers. And they will kill whatever to eat. And they won't just be after wild bunnies and squirrels or a deer or anything like that. They will kill anything that they consider they can eat. That might be you or me. So if you think you're going to have to find your dog a home, or become homeless with a dog, start looking for someone who can take your dog who has a home. Start trying to find a place that your dog can be, because the pounds are full. They're not taking anymore. They don't have the room for them, and they can't feed them. We're looking at a situation where there can be tons of packs of wild dogs out there. And there's going to be a whole lot of people that's going to be homeless. They won't have anywhere that they can stay, because not just because COVID and they weren't working, but even people that have been working, because supplies and parts and all that, gadgets and things that they need to build products to sell, they can't get those parts. And so they're laying people off. So people that worked through the pandemic, people that had jobs, they're losing their jobs now. And so they're going to be homeless. Just a fact. That's what's coming. So please try to find a place for your animals, instead of just letting them out on the street, or taking them out and letting them out in the country, where they're going to get into people's wildlife, livestock, and get shot. So, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy to deal with. And so let's please try not to create a worse situation by putting a bunch of dogs out in the street that will not have their rabies shots, that will be attacking people to eat, like a pack of wolves. Wolves are wild. They will hunt anything. Man, beast, it doesn't matter. They are going to eat. And as a pack, they will attack. And dogs will do the same thing. So please think about what you're going to do with your dogs. Please plan to feed your animals. If you can't feed them, please start looking for a place that you can put them, or that will take them. A family that wants a dog. There's lots of people that want dogs. Maybe you paid a couple of $1,000s for your dog, and somebody's like, oh, they have a Northfindler. Oh man, I've always wanted one of them. And maybe they'll take your big dog. Maybe they'll take your little Chihuahua. But if you don't try to find homes for them and you put them in the street, it's going to become a terrible public nuisance. Terrible public nuisance. I'm going to put an article, I'm going to link in the description box below, where 5 domesticated dogs were in a yard, and the fence got open and they got out, and they literally ripped this mail carrier to pieces. Tore one of her arms off, and the rest of her arms and legs, they had them in slings. And anyway, if you have the guts to read it, listen about it, then you can do that. But it's reality. We have to start looking in reality. We can't just go, oh no, well, I'm going to feed my dogs. I'll give them half of what I eat. I'll give them half of what I have. That's good, as long as you have, and as long as you think you can just give them. But people, please look at these things in reality. It's not going to be, like a bunch of dogs that are like used to be pets and you go, oh, puppy, 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 and they come running up to you, and you give them all kinds of love and everything, and you give them half the sandwich in your pocket, and everything is good, and you walk away and it's all fine. They might be hungrier than half a sandwich.